Sometimes you buy things just because. So this is what I bought. So I said in the previous Gator video that I bought a couple other things that were going to be upcoming videos. This is an air compressor, and it is powered by a Lister diesel engine. I believe this is a former military unit. At least that's what it looks like. It is a Champion compressor. But everything over here, particularly with the way the ignition and whatnot is laid out, it appears as though it is an old military unit. From my best guess, this is, well, I know that this is a Lister. I mostly bought it for the engine. I really don't care about the compressor at all. I just thought having a single cylinder air-cooled diesel engine would be kind of cool. But this is a Lister ST1 diesel engine, approximately 10 horsepower from best I can determine. I have no earthly idea of the specs of the air compressor itself, but the engine, pretty cool little unit. I've been sitting in a barn for, I don't know, 5-10 years, something like that. It actually has a clutch on it. This is a twin disc clutch, so from Racing, Wisconsin, however you say that. Sorry if I butchered it if you're from there. But yeah, so it's got a little clutch on it to engage and disengage the compressor. Kind of a neat little deal. Like I said, air-cooled diesel engine. Lister is now with Lister Peter. Did some reading on them. Lister actually went out of business in 1986. From the data tag on the tank, this unit looks to be from 1991, or 1981, excuse me. This engine, the ST1, from doing just a little bit of reading online, looks like it came out in 1972. So, you know, not a particularly old piece of equipment, but still, nonetheless, pretty cool. Does produce air, however, the tank, I have not inspected the tank yet, and in moving it somehow or another, there's a pipe thread or a pipe plug that broke off right there, so I will have to fix that. It does produce lots of air though, because yeah, I checked the oil and everything on the compressor and did all that, but this is going to be one of those things, I have no earthly idea what I'm going to do with it, mostly because I have no really use for it, but it was just wicked awesome, and it was cheap enough that I could at least bring it home and play with it for a little bit. So, yeah, I'll get it cleaned up, and I'll change the oil in the compressor head and the engine, and do other maintenance along those lines and whatnot, and then, you know, I may take the engine off and sell the compressor by itself, or scrap it or whatever, and keep the engine around for some. I mean, a 10 horsepower diesel engine with a clutch is pretty awesome in my opinion. But you know, let's crank it up. I'll open the garage door. I don't know how well the lighting will probably not great, mostly because it's very bright outside. But I'll set the camera up. I can't really fire it up inside, and outside it's just entirely too windy right now. So it is either a starter, you can use an electric starter, or you can do it by hand. I'm going to do it by hand, and what I'm going to do is there's the crank handle right there. You put it on this crank, you move, this is your decompression lever right here. So that moves for decompression. Your switch, your fuel switch is over here. You just press this button like that. So I've already done it. And now what will happen when I set the camera up is I will start turning it over with the handle, and then you'll see me reach up here, and I will flip this lever right there, and when I flip that lever, what will happen is it'll add compression, and hopefully the engine will take off. Yesterday when they sold it at the auction, they had no earthly idea what it was. One of the reasons that I was actually able to buy it, scrappers were actually there, and I was bidding against 2 scrappers, so was not a whole lot of interest in this thing, and you know, which is kind of sad because it's kind of a cool unit, but it's very cumbersome. It's heavy. The engine itself weighs, I think, close to 300 pounds, and then you have the compressor, so you're probably looking at 6 600, 700 pounds total with the flywheels and everything. That's just not, it's not easy to move around and things like that. If I did not have the 4066, I would not have bought this because I'm not sure if the X748 would even pick it up. So anyway, well, I'll set the camera up and we'll fire it up. All right, so I turned it around because I just could not get any type of good lighting otherwise. So put this on here. We're going to see if I can do this one-handed because I actually burnt my hand earlier on the muffler for the pressure washer. Decompression's on. No, it's not. Now decompression's on. We're going to see if I can start one-handed. So obviously it's terribly loud. It even says on the instructions somewhere over here. Oh, right there. Basically says that a hazard for your ears. At least I think that's what it says. So anyway, pretty cool little unit. You saw me engage the air compressor. We'll get that bung fixed in the tank. I'm not quite sure how to go about it, but we'll get it fixed and kind of go from there. Really excited to have it. Like I said, I don't know what to do with it per se. It does look like it's meant for this, or the engine is meant for the compressor. So I don't know. It's one of those things that we're just going to have to see. I am going to clean it eventually. I wonder what this says right here. I don't know. But I do have to clean it all up, and I'll see where all of the information is. It does have because it is an English engine, it does have the Queen's export stamp, and I believe it says 1980 on the bottom there. It says 1980 right underneath that, if you can see it. I don't know if it'll focus or not. See it where it says 1980 right there. Yeah, kind of interesting setup. It does have, there's that box right there. You can flop the exhaust either from the muffler or to a long tube here. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and hook a battery up to it and see if the starter works, and kind of go from there. So I'll do that in the next part of the video. So this will be a little bit longer video, but I think it should be fine. Okay, I got a battery hooked up, so let's try it out. So I guess it would be, I don't know, I don't think I need the decompression. We'll see how strong the starter is. I think that would be a little odd. So basically what I've done is I've just turned it on, like I showed you in the previous part of the video. I'm going to leave the compression on, and then down here, you should be able to press this button right here. Well, I guess the starter works. That's pretty exciting. Just kind of pop it on there and you're good to go. So means that this engine's probably got a ton of life left in it, or at least that's what I would think. So now decide what I want to do with it. So thanks for watching.